Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Aujourd'hui, je vais vous présenter mon professeur et mon mentor, celui qui m'a aidé à devenir qui je suis, Frank Arjava Petter. Hi Arjava, how are you?
Very well. Thank you, Gauthier. Thank you for inviting me to this intimate chat.
Yeah, I'm very excited to introduce you to my French viewers. Today, we're going to talk about Reiki, the Reiki essence. We're going to talk about protection, how to protect ourselves against negative energy during the Reiki practice. And we will go deeper this time because I have a few questions to ask you about spirituality. So, Ajava, you are known all over the world as an expert of traditional Reiki. 30 years ago, you discovered the true Reiki story in Japan and the traditional Reiki techniques. And then you spread them all over the world. So now, because of you, we all know and practice all of this. And now, after 30 years of practice, you decide to give us a synthesis of your work in a new format that we will discover in November in Paris. Can you tell us about this meeting point of all your work that you will teach us now?
Yeah, I think if I consider myself as a seed and then a sprouting seed and then a seedling and then a growing plant and then at some point the flowering of that little plant that is Arjava. This is the situation I'm in now, ready to open up the flowers and to release some hopefully nice perfume to the world. And this is what I'm going to do in Paris and anyway from now on. So until now, I have the feeling it was just growing, yeah? And now it's time to release the perfume.
Yeah, we can't wait to smell this wonderful flower. There is a link below the video if you want to see the program of this amazing teaching. I can't wait to be in November in Paris. Thank you, Ajava. Thank you for everything you gave to me and to these thousands and thousands of people. Thank you. Let's go deep into Reiki now. My first question is not about the Reiki practice. It's about the Reiki energy, the nature of this energy. You know, we wonder, what is it? What is the essence of this energy that is coming out of her hands from your perspective? What is the Reiki energy?
The essence to my understanding after so many years of practice is that you are it. You are Reiki. You're not, of course, you're not only Reiki, but you are nature. You're part of nature. And according to Usui Sensei, Reiki is the energy that enlivens all of existence, the whole universe, that makes it tick, that Takata Sensei called cosmic energy, which is really what it is. It's the energy that's prevalent in everything and everyone, in the mountains, in the rivers, but also in the blue of this wall and in the guitar hanging on your wall. It's the same. And we are that. So Reiki is not an artificial philosophy that you can think of, that you can either agree with or disagree with, but it is literally everywhere. And as a human being, we have permanent access to that.
So this is us. We are Reiki. Reiki is us. It's beautiful. This is beautiful.
We are it. So when Usui Sensei says that you are one with the universe, you are the universe is you, that's what he's talking about. And it's not some philosophy or something that is so for him, but it is so for all of us, knowing it or not knowing it. And the journey is to get to know it, to understand it, to have glimpses while you're giving treatments or while you're receiving treatments or while giving initiation, a leiju, or while receiving it, to have a glimpse of that oneness, of that immensity that is always there and always available.
Maybe that's why we feel so peaceful when we channel Reiki, because we connect with the true essence of what we are, I guess.
Maybe, maybe we can do this when we meet in Paris in November, that we can take photographs before we start and then after.
Very good idea. Yeah, we will do that in Paris in November. Yeah,
all the participants, including you and me.
Yes, so we can wonder how does it works, how the healing process works, because we are giving this cosmic energy to the client. And then what happened in their body? Why are they sometimes healing without any will of the Reiki practitioner? What is happening when we give this cosmic energy to the people inside of them? Does Ayashi Sensei, Usui Sensei gave us an explanation? Does we know why giving this cosmic energy is providing so much joy and so much healing?
I don't know if they gave any example. Right on the top of my head, I can't think of anything that I've heard or read or so, but my impression is that let's say we are floating in this ocean, this big ocean of energy, like a fish. And when we are floating in it, the water inside our own bodies and the water outside, they start to harmonize. And when they are harmonized, and that usually takes just a few minutes, then you relax and you become aware of your essence, of your nature. Not, for most of the people, not consciously, but unconsciously, and they just kind of melt, and the personality melts down. And the trick or the practice is that by doing it again and again and again, that you become actually aware of that oneness, of being of the same material that everything else is made of.
Yeah, this is what we feel when we practice. And, there is something with the new Reiki practitioner sometime in their classes when they put their hands on somebody that is really, really full of pain, means negative energy. And these new beginners, they can be afraid of what they feel. They feel the pain of the others in their hands, and they get emotional, they get scared, and they have the sensation that this negative energy can come in their body. So we always have this question. So I'm going to ask you again, how could we protect against negative energy when we practice Reiki?
If you think of the universe as what it is, this immensity that you cannot imagine how big, how vast it is, then in that, everything is included. All the joys, all the pains, all the beauty, all the ugliness, everything. And from that point of view, there is no negativity. There's just things as they are. It's just, that's what it is. And when you melt with that, you are likely to perceive all things, the positive and the negative, but don't make it a judgment. The negativity starts with your judgment, with your choice, with saying, I like this, but I don't like that. But if you just let things be as they are, they're fine. So let's say you feel the pain of a client. What is wrong with that? It's beautiful. Yeah, it's what they're going through. It's actually the truth. Yeah? That is happening in this moment. So when they have a pain, you acknowledge it. You go, okay, there is pain. And that's it. And when you have pain in your own body, the same. I do the same. Yeah? I go, okay, there is pain.
But when they are afraid, when they're scared, what do you tell them in your classes when they are scared They have to put their hands off because
No,
they are scared of what they feel. What should they do?
I tell them, keep your hands on, feel what it is that you feel, and open your heart as wide as you can. Give space. Be kind of like the universe is. The universe gives space to everything. It gives space to beautiful trees, or that we consider beautiful, and to cacti, yeah, that are maybe not so beautiful and have lots of needles. Yeah? The universe gives space to good weather, or what we judge of as good weather, to bad weather, to good smells, bad smells, to good things, bad things. Yeah? So we become like that, accommodating what is with the client. So, for example, if I sit with a client who has a life-threatening disease, if I make a judgment of that, then I say, but I don't like this, I will change that now. How you think my touch is for them, it's kind of toxic. It's not good to have that judgment. But if they come in with the life-threatening illness, or that they're close to death, and I touch them just with complete openness and love, poof, yeah.
So get rid of the judgment.
And open your heart like say like a window. The window doesn't have judgment what it sees. Doesn't choose, this is good. No, that tree is too high. We will cut it down a little bit. That building needs paint. We'll paint it. The window just is open to what is. And
Yeah.
the secret, I think, of Reiki is to learn that, to be okay with what is and to accept that.
Yeah, so that's why maybe Usui Sensei gave us the Gokai, I guess, because what you're telling, opening your heart, being grateful for what is here as it is, being full of love. This is Hitoni Shinsetsuni. I can hear that. Maybe that's why we have also the Gokai.
I think so. This is the beginning, yeah? When you stop reacting to basically your own thought process. Yeah? When you're angry, boom, and you react. Yeah? It's like somebody's pushing a button and you react. When you're worried, it's like something is pushing a button and you react. And he's saying to us, hey, take it easy, breathe, take a deep breath, pay more attention to what is and to the beauty around you and the silence around you, the space around you, and be accommodating to what is happening. So, of course, I'm not saying there is no negative energy. Of course, there is. There is a lot of negativity all around, but just give space to it, let it be. You cannot change other people's, let's say, negative habits, but you can change your own.
Yeah.
This is where we started. This is one of the reasons why we do Reiki, and one of the reasons why we chant the Gokai, to transform ourselves. And when we transform ourselves, immediately the things change around us, and in our family, with our friends, in the place where we live, and it just goes from there. So change doesn't come from the top down. Let's say some dictator says, Gautier, now you're going to be like this, but change from the inside, and from there the beautiful fragrance travels to other people and touches other people.
Would you say that, from your perspective, does Reiki could be a spiritual path, a complete spiritual path?
Absolutely. The Usui Association, they actually call Reiki, in Japanese, it's Satori no Michi. Satori is like enlightenment, and the Michi is the path or the road, the path of enlightenment, not the path to enlightenment, but the path of enlightenment. So
Wow.
the way it is seen is that you're not doing it to get something, because that's again a materialistic way of looking at the world and at yourself, but at polishing your inner diamond in a way that you tend to act in a beautiful, ethical, loving way as much as possible.
You're talking about the Usui Association, the Usui Reiki Ryoho Gokai. And coming to that, you discovered a long time ago that Usui Sensei was not just teaching the Gokai that we all know, the 5 Reiki principles, but Usui Sensei was also teaching 125 poems, the Meiji poem, the Waka. I feel, or maybe I believe, that these poems are meant to raise up our soul, purifying our heart. Can you tell us about this Waka? Maybe you have the book, because you just released them in both English and German, of Usui Sensei teaching.
So, the book that I published is this, and in Usui Sensei's time, the poems were part of the seminar materials, also in Hayashi Sensei's time, and they were about this size, so small that they could fit into a kimono pocket inside, so you could carry them around. And my understanding of that is, first of all, the emperor in Japan was seen as an incarnation of the highest god in the Shinto philosophy, Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun. So his words were considered to be directions from God, let's say. Okay, now for us, not being Japanese, maybe that's not so important, and we don't have that kind of sentiment towards a Japanese emperor. But what I think Usui Sensei had in mind was that Reiki is not a religion. So you don't have a philosophy that you have to adhere to, that you have to stick to. You don't have to follow religious rituals. You don't have to convert to Buddhism or whatever. And the only, let's say, philosophical background that there was in Reiki original were the Gokai, the 5 Reiki principles. So perhaps Usui Sensei thought it would be helpful for his students to have a little bit more ethical background. And he provided that with the poems of the emperor. Yesterday, I had a discussion with Ellie Luhmann, who's the calligrapher of this beautiful book. And she said that she noticed when she was drawing the calligraphy of these poems in the last few years for the book, that a lot of the poems had to do with the general population, the normal people, and the feeling of the emperor of empathy with his fellow human beings. And I think that's really what it is. It's all about be kind to others. Don't think of yourself as a super spiritual being and everybody else is just materialistic and I'm better than them. But to extend your love to the simple people in your daily life. And I remember you had noticed when you came to LSOS some years ago, how I act here with the village people. It's exactly the same as I act in my family, in the classroom. I make an effort to act with kindness, to be loving with everyone that I encounter in life, whether they are human or animal or insentient, even stone or tree.
It's nice when you don't judge others, just look at them as part of the universe.
Yes,
so
exactly.
They feel comfortable with you. They want to talk to you. You don't first, you will go to our mind, what I'm going to say. do I give a congratulation, something like that? If you just stand with love, people feel comfortable around you. This is what I learned with you. That's why maybe we have a spiritual part in these healing techniques. And so about this Meiji poem, how does this poem could help us improve our Reiki practice?
I think they're really mostly good for our personal transformation. They have many different themes. There are some poems that have to do with the public, how you view the public. There are some poems on friendship. There's some poems on self-composure and all that. It's just to help you polish the diamond of the self. Yeah, they are for that. In the Usui Association, they used to read one poem before the initiations. And also when they have their meetings, they would read one of those poems. And then the head teacher would elaborate on that somehow, give some instructions or commentary on the poem. So really they are like little diamonds that are shared with the audience, with the people.
It's beautiful, beautiful. And maybe working on the translation, because you just released a book with this 125 Meiji poem. How does it help you maybe to grow?
I really, really like, because they talk to your, let's say, to your innocence. And over the past few years, I often thought about trauma and innocence, how they are related, that we tend to lose our innocence in the aftermath of trauma. Something happened to you, got hurt, maybe broke up with your wife, with your husband, with your friend, with your parents. Something happened in between you and you parted ways. And you end up hurt and afraid to have that same pain again. And then you close your heart and you say, no, I will stay on my own. I will not make friends. I will never open myself again to somebody because they're going to hurt me. And a lot of the poems in this 125 have to deal with innocence, and in this case, the innocence of a ruler who maybe everybody thinks should be arrogant and above his subjects, but he is very humble and kind and considerate. And this is what touched me in the poetry of the Meiji Emperor.
Thank you for sharing that. Do you mind to maybe read one just for us?
Okay.
And we have just a trailer of this amazing book you just released.
I have one that I like a lot. There are quite a few more, but I'll take this. This is, I think, number 37 of the 125. It's called Makoto, and Makoto is the headline. Makoto is sincerity. The sincerity of the human heart in this world makes even a wrathful deity cry.
Yeah, we've got the Japanese kanji in your book. Thank you so much. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. That's so beautiful. Thank you, Arjava. Sincerity, yeah. Come from innocence also, and purity.
In Japanese spirituality, they don't believe that they're only good gods, but they're also naughty gods. And they're good deities and wrathful deities, angry, and they look like this, like fire around them. And that the sincerity and the innocence of the human heart has the possibility to even make one of those bad gods cry from.
Oh, poor little god. That's so cute. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Since I met you, everything always been around sincerity. So about this, you are now preparing yourself. You already started, but you teach the 30 years, the result of 30 years of Reiki practice and research and teaching all over the world. And we are lucky to be one of the first to discover this. It's not a heading point, I guess, but it's a big stone you're giving to us. And you're coming in Paris in November. Everybody can register on the link below the video. Can you give us maybe a little trailer? What are we going to learn now?
Okay, so what we're going to do is we will pay a lot of attention to meditation. We will sit every day for maybe 45 minutes or 1 hour in the beginning, because I noticed that in my life, the one thing that has changed my life, that has molded my life into a nice, nice direction, is meditative practice. I really would like to share that that treasure with everyone. I noticed that if I have a group of people around me for a few days, 5, 6 days, this time we will do 6 days, and from now on I will do 6 days, I think I can really get it across how beneficial that is to introspect, to look in, to be quiet, and in that quietness to see that everything is connected. Everything is one. Yeah? So this is the main thing that I'm going to do. We're going to do some breathing exercises, cleansing exercises. Yeah? So it's going to be kind of a big package of working on your personal transformation.
Yeah, with all these traditional Reiki techniques, you will also teach us to maybe get to the next level. Thank you very much, Arjava. Looking forward for it. We're ready. If you want to join us in Paris, there is a link below the video. Thanks. Thank you very much. See you soon.